Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. Wise Investor, good evening. Good to have you here. You're back. Did you take a leave? I forget. Did we DM each other a lot? I don't remember. You're back. Good to have you. Good evening, Rena. Good evening, everybody else. Oh, having a lecture is nice. Glad to have you here. I do this lecture a few times. I think this is the third for sure, maybe fourth time this year. So this will probably be my last attempt at these small port lectures, convincing you guys. So we shall see. Hopefully, get something out of it. I always feel like there's something to learn. I go to Empanada's lectures, Toasties, Rivers. I always learn something. I still attend those whenever I can. Give it just a couple more minutes, guys. I'm just trying to get some stuff sorted out here. There we go. iPhone, you just signed up today. That's awesome, sir or madam, whoever you are. Are you totally new to options, or have you been doing options in a different group? Or let me know. Hopefully, this is your first and only Discord you have to join. All right, guys, it's 5:04, almost 5:05. If you know my lectures, they always run long. Hopefully it doesn't go too long tonight. If we have to, we will. But got some good stuff for you tonight, I think. I hope. The usual slides. I try to change them up. Try to be different. I'm trying to find creative ways to do these small part classes with some motivation, some real world examples, stuff like that. Why they're important. Just to try and get you guys in the mindset. And then some charting at the end. So I'm gonna try and keep an eye on the clock because there's 3 or 4 names I really like that hopefully you guys can benefit from one. Hopefully at least one of them works out, and let you guys ask some questions at the end as well. But yeah, guys, this is some of this is like slower moving, beginner friendly, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. But even if you're experienced, like I always say, I always say the slower mover, the easier moving ones, even if you have experience or even if you have a large portfolio, like you guys can still trade these. One thing is really nice is because you can buy several of these, and I see it, we see it all. It happens to me as well. Um, you buy one Tesla contract for $250 and you take 18%, and you have no option to leave a runner, because hopefully you're smart and you only bought one, depending on your port size, but stuff like these trades I'm going to show you tonight, you guys, you can buy. I mean, obviously it depends on position sizing, but you can buy a lot of these and they pay really, really well. There's 6 or 8, 10 of us in here, and OT, that is, that trade these every single day, week after week. Not going to pretend we never take losses, because we do, but we have a lot of fun, and we kept some really nice winners in these, and I have some results from last week on that, just to kind of prove what I'm talking about, sell my point, if I'm being a car salesman, so to speak. That's kind of my goal tonight, to kind of show you guys like this does work. But yeah, I want to go over why this matters. Reducing risk by buying longer expiration, that may be seen a little bit obvious. Some realistic profit goals on a smaller portfolio. Again, that is subjective to your portfolio size, but again, some motivation, some what if kind of things of what is possible. And then I'm going to chart some of my favorite setups. I guess I left out some previous plays, but yeah, you guys, let's dive into it. Let's get started. I'm going to leave the chat open. So if I go over something that doesn't make sense or need clarification on, put it in the chat or unmute your mic. But if you do unmute your mic, just be respectful and make sure it's for a question, because if you're kind of just roaming around the house or you got your TV on, I'm gonna have to mute you. So, but yeah, guys, slide 1, why it matters. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, I don't know. But the reason, I feel like my fight in OT, or my purpose for trading these smaller movers, is because for lots of reasons. I keep saying slower movers, smaller movers. They move slower. And if you're the person that says, what, I'll stop out at 20% and I want to take 30%. There are trades every single day on my watch list that pay 30% or more every single day. And so the reason it matters, the reason it's nice to trade these, is because I'll show you some examples a little bit, but when you see a move on the chart, the candlestick itself may look large, but when you look at the dollar wise, it might be a 5, 10, 15-cent move. And so the reason you're able to handle that is because, if you know about option Greeks, for every dollar it moves, the delta will tell you how much you're going to make. And so when you're seeing something bounce 10 or 15 cents on something like XLE, Bank of America, whatever it is, mentally and emotionally, if you're a new trader and or if you have a smaller portfolio, that is easier to manage versus you guys trading SPX, midday, flips is not there. A single move up and down on SPY on a 0 TD is gonna crush you if it goes the wrong way, and SPX is gonna crush you even harder. And so the point I'm trying to make is you can buy time on these names. You can let your trade plan, if you're like, oh, this isn't a downtrend, I want to play this, and I'm going to make the 9 EMA stop me out, or the 21 EMA stop me out, whatever it is, you can visualize it better than something that moves very, very fast. And so it's like you wanted to be a professional football player, basketball player, doctor, whatever it is. it's like you guys are joining OT today over here, and like you've seen that chart, that graphic, and it's like you want to get all the way over here, which is success, but it's like you want to skip all these steps. You want to play SPY, you want to play SPX without any guidance, anything, or you hear something in voice chat or trade floor, and it's like you look day after day, you're like, why am I taking $50 wins and $200 losses? And it's like that is the reason why. And so when you get into the mindset of this, you guys, and it starts to click and you start taking some winners, you know, myself included, I've told some people privately and I've told them in the chat and stuff like that. This has been my best year yet as far as profit and loss, as far as percentage win percent rate, because it clicked for me. You know, I had success on SPY and QQQ. I started kind of zero DTEs and I was like, hey, this isn't working for me. I did one and three, 2-3 days to expiration. And to me, like it worked, you know, but I took losses and my P&L was still up and down, a little bit choppy at times. But I don't know how to describe it. It just didn't feel rewarding because I feel like, especially on zero DTs, it's like you need to be right instantly. And if you're not scalping, you know, which you should be on zero DTs, it's like I don't feel like my trade plan ever really worked out. I always left runners. But now that I trade these slower movers, I can get in a trade. I set alerts top and bottom in addition to a stop loss right when I enter, and I can just allow it to develop. But like I said, I still take losses, but they are way less this year, and it just clicked. And so hopefully my goal with you guys is to see some stuff and like, hey, I can do this too. But all it is I think, you know, the pushback or why people don't want to dive in on this, I think it's because they're just names that we don't talk about, you know, because what does everybody talk about, which is fine. In trade floor, it's NVIDIA, it's Tesla, it's SPY, it's SPX, that's fine. But, you know, I think once I show you some of these names in this watch list, you're like, oh, wow, like these do move, you know, like if banks or XLE or stuff like that is kind of chopping trading sideways, it's like you can look at, you know, you can look at stuff like Uber, you can look at Lyft, you can look at KO, Coke, lots of stuff. PayPal. I took PayPal today. It paid really nice. And so they do move. I just think it comes down to you guys getting the habit of just charting some of the names. And I literally have maybe 15 to 20 things on the watch list. And so like if this is something that interests you guys, you know, I don't expect you to grab them all in one night and trade them, you know. You can grab one or two. Sorry about that, guys. Roommate came home, had to close the door. You can grab one or two of these and start charting them over the next few days and send me some ideas. And then hopefully it clicks for you guys. But, you know, that is my goal for you guys. Portfolio size, I have no idea. Maybe someone in here has $10,000. Maybe somebody has $500. I don't know. But when I say portfolio size, and the point of this lecture tonight is, again, you know, focusing on those smaller portfolios. To me, like I said, I have no idea, but I imagine the average portfolio size in only options is somewhere around, people start with $500 to 3,000, 2,000 maybe. And I think that's kind of what people start with, whether it's, you know, the rainy day fund, stuff they've had, you know, in a savings. Hopefully it's not money to pay bills or car payments with, because that's never a good idea if you're not a very good trader. But again, this is subjective. But this will allow you guys to position properly. You know, if you have a $500 portfolio and EVA or Flips or someone alerts, you know, Tesla and the contract is $250, you know, that's half your port. And realistically, you should not be doing that if you want to have proper risk management. So again, these names I'm going to show you guys, hopefully it makes sense. Why I started with 2,000, went up to 27, now I'm down to 1,200. Well, hopefully you're learning from your mistakes. Hopefully you're keeping a journal. It could just be a bad run. We all have those. You know, I've had losing streaks of, you know, three trades in a row. You know, I only trade, you know, 1 to 2 trades a day. If you guys were to ever look at my trading journal, it's literally just on a busy day, maybe 3 trades, but I just do 1 to 3 a day. You guys know my position sizing little trick. It's not a trick, but just the thing I do. And if I hit a nice win, it's like, okay, I hit my quote unquote, my quota for the day or my goal. And it's like, I just shut it down. There's no reason to keep going and force something. Rev, good to have you in here. Hopefully stick around. I don't want to get too off topic right this moment, but I have a question for you on Disney later on. But yeah. Tim, I don't think anyone should trade without paper trading for months. Tim, you know what, man? In the 4 years I've been OT, I've quietly on my own. Sometimes I've mentioned it, but I've paper traded for weeks. I've paper traded for months. I've paper traded for a couple days. And again, going back to like, I guess that wasn't there, but profit goals, daily profit goals, I will do that. You know, to scratch the itch, so to speak, stuff like that. If I hit a couple good trades, or I have a really good week, and Fridays are generally a little bit busy for me with work stuff and life stuff. It's like, you know, if I'm up nice on the week, but I still feel like I want to come get in on some fun, or a member sends me a trade, some fun, or a member sends I will paper trade it. I will paper trade it. iPhone, you got a question? Your mic's open. Trying to meet you, but it won't mute. Maybe your mic's off. All right, cool. But yeah, I will paper trade. I mean, you guys know my story back in 2022. I was getting absolutely wrecked. I messaged River, said, hey, I'm taking a break, took a break from Discord. I took like 5 weeks off, turned off notifications on Webull. I came back and then I paper traded, you know, and that's fine, you guys. But, you know, you got to be able to recognize, you know, when you're struggling, when things are just not working right. And so, yep, wise investor. Paper trade well, switched to real, and emotions were different. The key is, you guys, if you're real, I mean, this may seem obvious, maybe not. If your intended real portfolio is 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks, whatever it is, you cannot make your paper account 100K. You absolutely cannot. Because what are you going to do? Oh, Tesla calls, cool. Oh, I'm down 25% Tesla. I'll just buy more. You can't do that on a real account. You know, you take Tesla calls, again, $250 entry, you got $500 port. Now you're down big. Do you buy in on that real money, that $500 port? No, you probably take the loss. And so your paper trade account must be a realistic size. It must be the same size, because if you cannot stick to a stop loss, to take profit, stuff like that on $500 on paper, you're not going to do it on the real. And so you guys have to keep it the same, and you guys have to do this day in and day out. There's no skipping steps. You guys just have to stick with it. Okay, $1,000 port, $2,000 port. Let's take a look. 20 bucks a day. It's boring. It may seem boring, but you've heard me talk about it. If you're walking your dog and you see a $20 bill on the ground, are you just going to leave it there? Or are you going to pick it up? We know the answer to that. Okay. And so 20 bucks a day. I know not everyone's going to have 5 green days in a row or a 5-day win streak, whatever it is. 100 bucks a week, hypothetical. 400 bucks a month, hypothetical again, or a $2,000 port. That's $20 port gain. The S&P 500 historical. I'm not making these numbers up, you guys. This is real numbers right in front of you. So you put $1,000 in the S&P 500 on January 1st. On average, what do we want to call it? 20%, guys, 25%, whatever. On average, so an entire year, January 1st, you put $1,000. You say, I'm going to set it and forget it. You're going to average 20 to 25% come December 31st this year. Or you can trade options and you can take your 20 bucks a day, and in 1 month, you're up 40% on your portfolio. What's better, 40% or 20? That's an obvious answer. It's a stupid question. It's a yes or yes question. It's very obvious. So when you guys have smaller portfolios, or you see the 20 bucks profit and it hits your profit target, but you're greedy, why are you greedy? Because you need to think about long-term goals and what that percent actually means. I see in a gains tab, I'm up 8% today on the port. I'm up 17%. That's great. Up 17%. You're basically up in 1 day what the S&P will give you an entire year, the ETF. So if you buy SPY shares, you know, you can dollar cost or position costs on $1,000. You buy that, again, you're looking at 20 to 25%, 30 on a very, very good year. Maybe we're only 10% this year. We're up a lot. Maybe we decline the rest of this year and we close SPY 10% up. You guys are looking at 40% in a month, you guys, and you're not taking it. You're not taking it serious. I just don't get it. And so you guys need to trade. You need to change that mindset, that mentality. We're almost done with July. So we got on the back half, 6 months left, 5 months, whatever it is. Think about where you're at now. Maybe you struggled the first half of the year. Like, think about what is possible, you guys, on these $20 days, $30 days. Okay. Look at the chat, make sure everything is not missing anything. All right. All right. This is a screenshot from my trading journal. You guys, I've been practically begging people to trade these slow movers with me. Granted, my success story is not going to be the same as everybody else. My experience is not the same as everybody else. But stop complaining. Stop bitching about $30, $40, $50 days. Okay. I started this journal on January 17th. Started with $2,000. I took a winning trade today. I know that first trade because I remember it was XLE. I took 1 or 2 contracts. It was a winner. I was up $66 that day, 3% on the port. Okay. That's not fun. That's not sexy, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. There's people making $1,000 in here. There's people making $500 a day. You cannot compare your journey to somebody else's. Okay. Weekly profit for that week. I think I started this journal on a Thursday or Friday, so I took 1 trade. Next week, January 22nd, this is my gains from the week. Okay. Now, as my portfolio grows, as my position size grows, because again, my hard and fast rules. If I have a $2,000 port, my entry is $200 position size. So if XLE was $100, I'm getting 2 contracts. That's 10%. Okay. I have very strict rules. So weekly gains, you guys, is not to brag. It's not to boast. It's to show you guys how on January, if you had $2,000 and you had a little bit of success, you felt like you're a good trader, your win rate was higher, upper 70s, 80%-ish, and your losses were smaller than your wins. This is what is possible. So you need to think long-term. January, again, this is not fun. It's not big, but now weekly gains. I'm not showing you the end where I'm at, but you can see I'm averaging now $462 a week on average. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But do you see how compound gains over and over and over add up? So you guys don't want these small, gains. You want to get down here today. You joined OT on Monday. Today's Tuesday, and you want to be here with a $2,000 port. This is just not realistic, you guys. You guys cannot skip the steps to success. Okay. And you can see how week after week, steady, steady, steady. I started hitting some winners. March was a huge month. So was May. And you can see how that exponentially started growing. But you guys have to have that mindset day after day. You cannot skip steps. Yeah, it says it's hard to change that mindset. It is. When you have money on the line, I get it. Nobody likes to lose. Nobody does. I don't like to lose. I take losses. Flips takes losses. Telio does. River. But the key is, you guys, and I can show you position sizing later on if we have time. The key is to keep them small. If your position size, so my little trick is 10% position size. Okay, let's do math. 10% position size is $200. If I take a 30% loss, so I don't enter a hard stop at 30%. I figure out a trade where my stop loss is 30%. Does that make sense? So if I enter calls, we're pushing and SPY's below me, and I say, VWAP is my cut. I pick that cut point because I know that's roughly 30%. Okay. So if I take a 30% loss on a 10% position size, that is a 3% loss in my portfolio. Not fun. You can see, I took a 3.6% loss that day in January, but it is manageable. The thing is, you don't want 3% wins on your port. I didn't trade that day, 0.5%, 3.5%. And then you don't want like 10% red, 12% red, and it keep going down. That is the key where most people struggle with. And so if you keep that position size locked in every single day, when you take a loss, again, it's not fun, but it shouldn't emotionally wreck you or ruin your day. Or if you're at work, it shouldn't mess up what you have to do at work. Or if you're married and you traded during the day and you come home and you're cranky with your husband or wife, like, That should not be happening. That means you guys are in way too heavy, and you're just too emotional. And on the flip side, if you have a larger account and you're like, okay, one case says 10%. And if you have a 100K account and you're like 10%, okay, 10 grand, that's a lot on the table. You're not letting it go to zero, but that's a lot of money on the line. So also emotionally, if you guys cannot handle that, you need to size down. And so you need to find your sweet spot on what you're comfortable with. Like I tell people a lot, I asked someone in portfolio help, you can go look. He had some trouble with taking, trailing winners. And I said, are you in heavy? Are you rushing to get out because you're in heavy? And he or she said, no, which is good. So, if I'm in a trade for $5, am I staring at the computer? Do I got sweaty palms? No, it's $5. I should still follow my plan. It's $5. If I got $15,000 on the line, you're damn right I'm paying attention. You're damn right there's a stop loss on. Okay. So you guys need to try and find that sweet spot. Helmy, good to have you in here. He always says morning, you guys, because I think he's overseas. I don't remember where, but he's across the world and he still lectures. Good for you, man. Matt Mooney, I built 37K port and lost it because I started to go big in NVIDIA. It's been hunting me ever since. I think I'm aiming for big. You are, man. Got to size down, keep that stop loss, and then send charts. There's a tab called community charting, or you can just send directly to someone's DM, but just say, hey, I'm looking at NVIDIA here at whatever NVIDIA's trading. I don't even know. It looks like it's bounced off 125. It's over, this candle here or over the opening range. Do you like calls here? And I'll say, sure. What's your stop loss? What's your take profit? And that helps you build a plan and stick to it. Okay. So you guys don't be afraid to send charts. You don't have to say, hey, I'm buying 10 contracts of this, or you don't say my port size is this. We don't need to know that as staff members, but if you want to share it, that's fine. But share a chart because it'll make you a better trader. I promise you guys. Byron, this spreadsheet has been shared many times. Go to staff trade or staff ideas. I don't know if it's pinned, but it's in there. Otherwise, send me a DM or I don't like to ping premium because I don't know if people it is paid. It's $26, but it's a one-time fee, but it is super, super detailed. You guys, you can, I'll talk about the end. I don't want to lose too much time, but you can track your win rate on if you label it. I don't label it because I don't care. If I took a bull flag breakout, you can label it. There's a tab that says, what was your strategy? And you can say, hey, I have an 80% win on a bull flag breakout or head and shoulders, whatever it is. It's super detailed. Again, it's on Etsy. It's not mine. You got to pay for it because, I'm not going to give away someone's work for free. It's on Etsy. His name is Sinvest, Sinvest. Oh, the hell with it. Let's just look at it. See if we can find it. I'm not going to spend a couple minutes looking for it. There it is, I think. Let's see. Here it is, guys. Sinvest. Pick the one trading journal. And now my one disclosure, one warning. There's a version for Google, which I guess is Mac-based, and there's a version for Microsoft Excel. There are no refunds, so make sure you pick the correct one. If you got an Apple computer, you probably want Google Sheets. And also it's super, super detailed. So make a copy because you're going to mess it up. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay. Why these slower contracts matter. Again, building on it, you guys. You can buy 5 days at a time, several weeks at a time, a month at a time, wherever it's at. And you can get them for, less than $120, $110. Like you've heard me say many, many times, you're not going to find a 2-week out Tesla contract because you like to trade it at a reasonable strike price for $110. And so, these names are cheaper to trade and they're kind of nice because you have time. And again, like this stupid, cheesy chart, this is the risk you take. You literally have to look at it and go, can I take this risk? Today's Tuesday. You took 2 or 3 losses today or yesterday. You're kind of deep red. You hit a small winner today. You're still red on the week. Should you be trading SPX, 0DTs? Probably not. Take something less risky, take something slower moving, build that buffer for the week, you guys. Those who don't know, theta is a real thing, and it's literally this. On 0DTs, it is just time decay, trickling. And we get caught on SPY. When you guys get caught in this trade type of thing here, Lord, where's that? There it is. You guys were getting cut up in this today, waiting on a breakout. This is really, guys, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This is an hour of chop. Okay. You buy calls up here, you buy the top, you don't sell for profit. When we get this breakout here, you are not at break even anymore because of theta decay. So decay is a real thing, you guys. You guys playing SPX midday, it is a real thing. You guys playing late day SPX, you know what theta is. And so buying these slower movers again, you guys, it's you need to consider, obviously, for swing and stuff like that, but you can buy time. And again, these contracts need to make sense. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a Ford example. The motor company, if Ford is trading at 1450-ish, you don't take the 12 strike put. You take something at the money or in the money, because when you look on the chart again, when Ford makes the move that looks big that I'm going to show you, that's only like a 40-cent move down, you guys. And so the strike price must make sense. Does this make sense to everybody? I'm trying to follow the chat. I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. Some of this is obvious, but
making sense.
I need to see it in front of me. Okay. Names of trade, you guys. Take a screenshot if you are interested, or this lecture is recorded. Also, in staff ideas tab, I try and post this every day. Sometimes I forget, but if you look at the timestamp, 8 o'clock, so that's West Coast for me. I wait for the opening range to be set, and I give a little bit of trade ideas on what I think is a good setup based on buy sell volume, based on overall market conditions, stuff like that.
Is there a script for that?
This there is. Go to TOS scripts tab. It's pinned. The buy and sell is similar to what this is up here on SPY. So our Discord member Assassin AR15, he also he hangs out on the Advanced Trade Floor. He made this script for all of us. I think, don't quote me, but I think he got it for us. This in a percent form, I found, I think it was on Reddit possibly, but I found it in a percent form, which I liked better, because I don't want to look at this and try and figure out what percent it is. I want to look at this and go, okay, it's 14% buyers versus, okay, 5 million, is that million or thousand, whatever it is, divided by 29. It's like, I don't want to figure out the math. And so I want to spend the less time looking at this stuff and acting on moves. And so this is pinned as well, you guys. You can download the 15-minute version and then copy and paste and then just change it 30 in 1 hour. So what this is showing you guys, this isn't like a secret sauce or anything. This is just showing, I use the 9 and the 21 EMA. If the 9 EMA, we'll look at CCL. If the 9 EMA is over the 21, it's going to trigger bullish. So if it's over the 21 on the 15, 30-minute, 1 hour, whatever, if we go to Carnival Cruise Line, it's obvious. This is a 15-minute time frame. And look at, my purple is the 9, my green is the 21. Obviously, it's over it, so it triggers it or tags it as bullish, that screenshot. So it's nothing secret. It just allows me to go, hey, CCL is probably trending up today. And
how, I'm sorry to interrupt, but how to download this menu, like how to make it visible, like to go to setting, or how to on TOS?
The script. Who is that? Is that Mooney? Is that you?
This is me, Mooney. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Send me a DM, brother. I don't spend too much time, or I'll show you real quick, but I want to get back to lecture. So if you're looking right now, you guys, you add a watch list. I guess I'll just show you real quick. You add a watch list, click this gear icon, customize. This will probably be quicker than telling 30 people in a DM. Go to custom, and you add a new one. So you can see my 15, 20, you can see it's right there. You go to custom and you open that and you paste the script in. Again, I don't want to go over that now because it's going to take too much time, but send me a DM, Mooney, and like tomorrow pre-market, I can do like a video call with you and kind of show you.
Sure.
Basically, yeah. So basically you'll click right here next, not the 15-minute, click here, and then you paste the script in. So see where it says 9 and 21. If you guys use the 5 and the 12, you have to change these numbers because this is based on mine. I use the 9 and 21. And then up here, you change the time frame right here. So if you want the one, so again, you can copy paste it. So you did the 15, copy paste it, change the 30, boom, rename it 30. And again, if you use the 5 and the 12, everywhere you see this blue number, do that. So I guess that didn't take too much time. So
yeah, that's it. I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Again, these are names we trade every day, you guys. Help me, when it crosses and indicates bullish, do you take calls? No, absolutely not. Again, it's just a way for me to scan. So instead of going through, so pretend these scripts weren't here. Literally what I do on a watch list or to start my day, I literally go like this. Oh, is this going to reset every time? Sorry, guys, I'm not super good at Thinkorswim. I literally go like this, and I just start looking. Okay, this is looking good. Set some alerts to do whatever. So instead of doing that, I can look at this during the day and go, hey, you know, I'm seeing DraftKings bullish. Okay, that probably 97% buyers. That probably tells me, hey, take a look at DraftKings. What's it doing? I didn't take the trade. This is the daily 20, obviously, but it just allows me, you guys, to like quickly look over it. Like today, I think it was GM. Bearish. At the time, it was like 8% seller volume or buyer volume, excuse me, 8% buyers. And then lo and behold, we laid down. So it allows me to just kind of look quickly and make a decision. So if it's like, you know, bullish on the 15, but still bearish, which on the 1 hour, which means it's breaking out of a downtrend possibly, but only like 40% buyers, maybe I'm not interested. So it's just a way for you guys, for me to like get that confirmation, get that added thing. Obviously, if we're trending down the whole day, what trended down today? I played PayPal today. That's obviously not today because I know that. So PayPal, I played this today. If you get to here and you start looking at your buyer percent, if it's the last hour of the day, obviously, and it's trending down, you're going to see a low percent here on buyers. Like that's not, I mean, that's obvious. But when we're kind of pushing up, we're consolidating, and it looks like almost a breakout, and I'm seeing 90% buyers, but they haven't broken out yet. That's a key for me, like, hey, be on breakout alert. So yes, but going back to these trades, you guys, again, we trade these all the time, you guys. Take a screenshot, write them down if you want to learn them. Ask me about them, I will help you. There's several members maybe in here and in the Discord that trade these as well. They pay really nice. Real world examples, you guys. This is from Rena. She's still in here. She took this trade. This is her quote. This was, did you trade this Monday morning? I think, let me know in the chat. I think she traded this Monday. So she says, my thought was we bounce or break from that lower trend line. Okay. So I waited till after open. We had a sell-off. So my game plan was they break and retest. So I highlighted the important parts, you guys. She's telling me, like I said, if you tell someone your plan, you should stick to it. She's telling me her game plan. I want a breakdown and a retest. So trend line here, break and retest. I'm going to zoom in to show you a detailed look here, you guys. She says I entered puts after the close of the first bear candle on the 5-minute green arrow. We'll take a look at that. Contracts ready 5, wrote it about an hour until it hit my price target. So again, hit my price target. Not I sold because it's 20% or 30% or 10% or 5. It hit my price target. That is key, you guys. You have to chart. You have to build a game plan. You have to stick with it. Okay. A zoomed in look here. So remember that trend line? She built the plan. We pushed up pre-market, or not pre-market, early in the day. Push down. Kill candle, what I say, all the way down to VWAP, EMAs stacked like that. She enters here. Okay. She probably knows her stop is somewhere. I should have zoomed in and marked that 90, 93.50-ish. Her stop is small. She's buying into this candle, I'm assuming. And if they push back above VWAP, that is a small percent loss. These are the losses I talk about, you guys, where when you stop out, you shouldn't be pissed off because you stopped out. I mean, again, yeah, you don't like to lose money. Nobody does. But like, it should be an obvious stop out. Like, oh, they bought it back over VWAP, back over yesterday's close. Maybe they push up. Maybe I should look for call bias. Okay. When you get into trades like this, your stop out should be easy. It should be obvious for you guys. It's not buy down here and oh, I'm going to hold for all the way up here. Oh man, now I'm down 48%. You know, you let this whole move retrace and whole, you know, probably hour and a half a move. And now you're like, now I'm going to stop out. No, you should have stopped out a long time ago. Okay. So this for XLE winner, you guys, 510. She was in this for about an hour. She said 31% winner, 31%. Again, $85 entry, you guys. This is nothing. Again, this move looks big. So we'll just call it 92.84 for, you know, quick math. When it broke 93.82, this is a $1 move. Okay, this isn't that big. It's big for the stock and it's meaningful and it paid 31%. But a $1 move on this is manageable. It's easy to manage because of option Greeks and the time that she had. Okay, and she's really good. Even though, shout out to her, even though there's like 2 or 3 days left in the week, whatever it is, she'll buy next week because she doesn't need to sweat it out. KO trade, another member sent this. Again, sending the chat, sending me a trade idea. Last 2 candles had reclaimed. So we're looking at the daily over here. Last 2 candles had reclaimed the 20. I was interested in these zones here. So reclaim this here. He's interested in these zones here for a breakout for a take profit over here. I was interested in the 30-minute zones for 712, 715. The red line above is all-time highs. I wanted a break of the downtrend line to see what we can do with these 2 zones. Let's take a look at this trade. In this first box here, you guys, again, building a trade plan. It sounds easy, but a lot of you guys do not do this. Break downtrend, blast through the first zone. I didn't take entry because I didn't really get one. So meaning he did not chase. We started bouncing off the zone. So he has a plan. It's not like, oh, where am I going to buy? It's obvious where he's going to buy because he made a plan. He knew this zone exists here. If we break through it, and you guys know my trading style and lots of others, break out and retest. So break, retest. You don't buy the top of this breakout candle. You're buying, if somebody was in this for calls and you buy the KO 64 call, you're literally buying somebody's profit. Okay. You take the retest of this entry. Okay. Bottom snipe. Look at that entry. Now, his stop out is easy. Why is it easy, you guys? Because his game plan was this zone here. It did not break it. Maybe he didn't see it there, and maybe he was a little break even. Now he's a little bit red, maybe 1 or 2%. There's no stress here because now he has a trade. Got the bottom of the green arrow. Got some 726, 64, 79. Wrote to the next zone. Trading plan for a trim. Put a stop at entry. Smart trader. Bounce off that. Sold the last contract at 99 for 25%. Okay, you guys. Again, 79 cents on a next week expiration. So at the time, I think this was Thursday or Friday last week, a week ago. So he was buying this week's contracts. No stress, you guys. You guys can trade these. You just have to start charting them. It's no different. Charting out KO or XLE or PayPal is no different than Tesla or SPY. You just got to throw some lines up on the chart and get using it. Okay. This was a trade I took, you guys. This is where following options flow can and is fun. Okay. Ford is a big company, but Ford does not move very fast. Okay. You know, it's $14 a share. So when I have filters set up on unusual whales and I see a single buyer on a 5-minute candle, a single buyer bought $1.264 million worth of the Ford 14 put. Okay. So Ford, you might see $30,000 in calls, 20,000, 15. When you see a single buyer buy $1.2 million worth of puts, that's going to pique my interest. Okay. This isn't about options flow. This is about finding things that stick out. Okay. And so for me, going back to it, this sticks out to me. You know, $30,000 on calls on Tesla, that's nothing. That's every day. That's every 5 minutes. You know, 1.2 on a single buyer on Tesla, yeah, I may pay attention. 1.2 mil on Ford, you better be watching this. Okay. Is within 29 days to expiration. So my thought was maybe they wanted to cover earnings, because earnings were actually today, but this trade was last Thursday was my trade plan, and I took profits on Friday. So again, my trade plan, I'm going to follow this whale, small position size. Okay. When I swing, again, you guys know my rules, 10% position size. This position size was small. It was like 3%, 3% of my port. And I'm going to follow them because Ford, when I show you the chart, was trading about 14.5, 14.6. Okay. So again, the strike price matters. You don't buy a 10 strike price on Ford because, for Ford to go from 14 bucks to 10 is a huge, huge move percent. The strike price has to matter, you guys. Okay. If we bounce at previous all-time high zone, I will add to the position. Over that, I'm going to cut. If you follow this trade with me, guys, go 14.5 put, August expiration, go August 6th or 16th. I checked the open interest and it was good volume on that. Okay. So hit the 1450s. I want to go to that 14 zone. So I seen flow. Now, does the flow make sense? Okay. You can't just follow this blindly. Why does this make sense? Why did I like this trade? Okay. Look at this. So this right here, at the time, the 9 daily moving average stopped right here. So when we pushed up here, I'll show you a zoomed in look in a second. I was looking for when I'd seen the flow come through is right up here. So on the daily, look how so the daily stopped here because these huge gap and push. Look how far we're extended from the daily. If you guys know anything about Bollinger Bands, when something gets super, super extended, what goes up must come down. It just cannot keep going up forever. Yeah, I can keep going up more, but it has to retrace a little bit. There's got to be people taking profit. Okay. A couple of things here. If you've been in my lectures, if you know how I trade, stuff like that. If you buy Ford shares, you know where I'm going with this at 14.8. This is July 13th of last year. You buy the top and you're deep red for an entire year. And now you're break even. Where are you going to sell your shares at as a relief? Oof, I'm out of those shares. I was in heavy. I held through all this pain, didn't average down. Now I'm break even. I'm getting out here. Okay. So it's our first time here. You guys hear me say it. First time on a new level in a while. I'm always playing the rejection. I'm playing profit takers. Or if this was flipped upside down, if we haven't been here in a long time, I'm taking, if this was flipped 180 and we sold down to this zone here, I'm taking calls every single time. If we haven't been somewhere in a year, I'm taking calls every single time. Okay. So this is the daily. Again, red zone and red zone. Let's take a look at the zoomed in look. Again, we're extended over the daily 9. We know what happens when we get extended over that. Zoomed in look. So this is when the put flow came in. Again, the strike price has to make sense. I picked the 1450 strike because 1450, again, 1450 level is right here. A 10-cent move down and I'm already in the money. If you guys know anything about option Greeks, when you go in the money, you get that little spike, you get that delta spike of stuff going in the money. Okay, same thing with SPX at the end of the day. When a contract goes from 20 cents to $1.10 in like 0.3 seconds, like if you get a 55.20 put and we're at 55.21, it goes under 55.20, that is that spike in premium because it went in the money. So same thing with this, you guys. I'm not buying a 13 strike down here that we haven't even been to or probably won't even go to. Why would I pick a strike price below the 9 daily EMA or 9 daily moving average? Okay. I picked an in the money strike. I sold down to my price targets here, sold down to this 14.2 zone because I knew this was an old level here, recent level here. and it lines up. I want to go back to the daily because it's not going to make sense, but okay. Again, I'm selling at zones here. Obviously the trade worked out. Sold 30%, you guys. This is a $53 contract I bought, about a few of them, but 53 bucks. 30%, you guys. Again, 30% is 30%. Take it how you can get it. To me, I will take 30% trades all day long on something that moved from 14.50 to 14.20. It moved 30 cents, you guys. This looks like a big move. 30 cents. This is so easy to manage, you guys, when you have time. You can take these bounces. I'm not going plus 20%, minus 10% on this bounce here like you would SPY or SPX. Like I'm chilling here, you guys. This is not even moving the needle on my P&L. Okay, trimmed here. And again, remember that lower 14 zone I talked about. As we move into that 14 zone, that's my trade plan. Okay, so we sell down in that 14. Obviously, it could have went to the 9 daily, but 14, you guys, a round psychological number. I completely sold out in the remaining 2 for 51%. Okay. I don't know how many more trades or examples I have to give you guys. If you guys are struggling, take these trades, take these ideas, ask questions on stuff like this, you guys, because this works. Yeah, maybe this swing wouldn't have worked. Again, going back to my trade plan, this is that 14.67 zone or 7.6 zone I was looking at. If we stopped out, all-time highs up here, I'm not worried about easy stop out. Okay. Before I go into some charting, you guys, does anybody have any questions? What is the learning gap? I feel like, I don't know, like I said, but just judging by the DMs I get, there's a big learning gap of people that, they don't trade full time. They have daytime jobs and they basically wait for alerts, and they trade with flips or empanada, and they're a little bit successful. And then maybe on their lunch break, they're open their phone chart and they try and trade on their own, and then they give all the gains back. So are you guys, do we need more charting classes, even though we do them all the time every week? Is it charting? Is it an experience? Are you guys scared from past losses, or what is it that you guys struggle with that, not to be rude, but you trade SPY day after day and you lose day after day. And it's like, why do we not want to trade these names? Obviously I'm biased because I know it works, but the people I trade with, I know this works, you guys. So is it hesitant on losing a lot? Yeah, iPhone says hesitant on losing a lot. Like, you guys, this, again, 30% is 30% on your entry. But I'm just showing you guys ways to take 30%. I'm showing you ways to take the stress out of it. These trades every single day, one of those in the watch list will pay every single day. I guarantee it. Every single day. Yeah, we might not catch it maybe in hindsight, but we can look at a chart every single day. There's 20-30% trades all the time, you guys. But I'm just showing you guys, I'm not trying to be rude about the SPY and SPX thing, but it's like, there are other ways to make money in the market. You just have to train your brain and your mindset to how you want to learn, how you want to do it. And to me, I want to buy time. I want to take the slower moving trades. Sure, I can trade SPY 0 TDs, but I prefer not to. Juan says more charting for sure. All right, I'll make sure we get that. iPhone, I don't have a tab. I just post ideas. I'm only a staff member, so I have to be very careful with an actual alert or tagging premium. And so if you go to staff ideas, it's in the analyst section. I'll give trade ideas, let me look. I don't know if I did anything today. Let me see. I'm kind of cryptic at times, but if I'm posting this was today, and I say favorite setups, or if I put something in bold, that's kind of your hint. I'm not saying take it blindly, but just say, hey, I seen you post a chart. What do you see on PayPal? What do you like? Because I took this PayPal trade today. I put notes in here, you guys. So I say, Carnival Cruise Lines, I like it. We pushed up hard, but I like it only if it holds 19. Delta Airlines, I like the rebound, but we need to do this or this. I post ideas, you guys. And so it's not an alert, but it's like, I'm posting ideas. And so just all it takes is a DM or on Tradefloor, say, hey, I see your notes on PayPal. Can you let me know, what you've seen there, what you were going for? And so PayPal was, when I posted it, PayPal was right about here. And I mentioned, we have the 9 overhead, the hourly 20 overhead, VWAP for some reason on this chart is not on it. I don't know why. We had all those overhead. So I said, you can take an entry here, and if we break over, your risk is very small. Okay, because again, you guys, my risk reward profiles. If you were to take that trade and take a loss, break over the hourly 20, that shaded zone is your risk. And your minimum profit that you can look for is a low a day touch. And so I made notes on the staff tab. I said, hey, looking for this. And so I didn't take it here. I saw some buying. I think this one actually SPY. Let's go to 2 chart thing really quick. Nope. PayPal. So I can sync my. So I'm gonna move my cursor back and forth, you guys. Look over at SPY right here on the right. And this is PayPal on left. So I pass on that entry on puts because if you see where my cursor is moving, look at that big SPY candle. That SPY 15-minute candle engulfed where that closed and this and the entire opening ranges. So I said, you know what? It's not time for puts right now. But what I did do is I set alerts to come back to it. I set alerts. That's not synced up. Oh. I set alerts to come back to it. Down the zone here. And so the break with this, with volume, I seen all I needed for the day that, PayPal had half the day so far to break out and it hasn't. It pushed, it rejected. It's rejecting yesterday's highs. It pushed, it rejected. It pushed, did not follow through. Pushed, rejected. We sell through this. I bought, maybe not the best entry. I bought selling through this candle. I said, you know what? That's all I need to see for my confirmation of what I was looking for earlier. And the stop out was the same thing. I mentioned in my trade plan to some people, break over this zone, I will stop out. Sold down, did not take profit because it didn't hit. My profit target was low of the day. Didn't hit it. Pushed up, not gonna lie. It literally went to break even, minus 1% red. But again, I'm trading the chart, not my emotions, not the percent. Obviously, if you let something go 60% back break even, if it would have pushed and took a loss, that would have been a bad trade move on me. But like I said, I trusted this chart. It kept trending down over and over and over. And so I put in the chat some people I was trading this with. I sold down here at low of the day. Obviously, it went for more. I struggle with setting stop losses, taking profit targets because I want to set them based on my chart. If I know what I'm doing. DeWald, go to, not that I'm biased, but I go to recorded lectures tab, or send me a DM if you can't find it, DeWald. Go to recorded lectures tab. I literally have a class called Stop Loss and Taking Profit Based on the Chart. And that's going to help you everything you need to know. How I find the percent, why I do it, stuff like that. Go to, I think it's called Latest Classes under Recorded Lectures, sorry. And that'll tell you everything you need to know and how I find stuff like this. iPad, I can only do swings since I can only 3-day trades a week. Brother, if you are on Robinhood, you need to switch to a cash account because they changed that. You do not need to have 25K in your account. I'm assuming you're on Robinhood. Change your account profile or whatever it is, and you can have unlimited day trades. Okay, so switch that tomorrow. No reason to take swings or take trades that are green and you have to swing because you have no day trades and it pushes up. Okay. Looking at wise investors, most people piggyback on call outs. Yep. I can't fault that because when you start out, I get it. Everyone joins this group because they want to make money, obviously. And that's fine. And even when you do see a call out, I mean, obviously Flips, his stuff goes really, really fast. But if you see Empanada on the tab and he says, I'm taking Apple here, well, he's usually pretty good. Shout out to him. He'll say, hey, my stop loss is under this level. My take profit zone is here. But if someone puts in the tab, hey, I'm taking these calls here, and that's it, you better be asking, hey, where's your stop out and why? And where's your take profit and why? Because you cannot be blindly taking calls or puts just blindly and then just have no trade plan. Because you take calls here and you have no trade plan, all of a sudden we look and we're down here like, oh, well, I'm down big. What do I do? Okay. Oh, it's been an hour, of course. My lectures run long, but I have what I think are some favorable setups. Let me go back to this, guys. I need to look at my notes here. Okay, I think I'm good. Take notes, take screenshots, whatever you want to do. These are my favorite setups based on, again, based on where we close today. It can look a lot different tomorrow based on where we close today. Let me look at my notes. First two are a little bit risky, but I have a thesis. Disney, Rev, are you still here? Let me see, Rev, are you in here? Or anybody that's smart? He is not in here. Anybody know anything about that union strike? Did it go through, or is it just news? Disney, the union workers are on strike. Anyways, this came out, I think, yesterday or today about union workers going on strike or approving a strike. So they're getting beat down. But let's pay attention to this thick line here, you guys. Let's go the 4 hour on why I'm kind of curious. Disney getting whacked for months, weeks, months, whatever. Let's see how far I gotta scroll before it comes back. There we go. Give me a little bit more. Okay. This is December 2020 through January 20th of this year. And what do I always say? It's our first time here, you guys. It is our first time here. Back to this zone. Yeah, we're selling down. Yeah, sellers in control. But I'm curious. They're getting whacked. No doubt about it. Chart is ugly. But if you want to be a share buyer and you want to live a little bit risky, and you bought shares last year at 90, 80, and you rode all the way up here, maybe you'll take a stab here. Why are you going to take a stab? Well, because if it fails, how much are you risking? On shares, that is, on shares. We come down here to 89 flat. What are you risking? I'm risking 2% on shares. 2%. No big deal. 2% loss. That's an okay risk. I get it. It's a beat down name, but Disney has me curious tomorrow. If we're doing a little dance, we're pushing up, or we kind of open here, we fake sell and we buy up hard. I'm looking to buy bounce here on Disney. Again, it's a risky one. 90.85 on Disney, guys, mark on your chart. The opposite, CCL. I don't want to short momentum, but CCL has me curious. This was the zone here, July 16th. Push up, very nice move. Pre-market push up, fail, pre-market fail, push up, fail, or push up, hold. Today, we close under, okay? And now, this hourly 20 is probably gonna trickle in and do something like this. And CCL, assuming maybe it kind of does one of these things. If we push anywhere in this zone and we fail early tomorrow, I'm looking for a breakdown and a retest of 19-ish zone, 19, okay? Because I know if we reclaim 19, we push back into here, it's an easy stop, okay? So My risk is defined. Where's my reward? Yeah, this, my reward. And why I think it could be reward. Down into, oops, I don't want to do that. Down into this pocket here. Okay, so say I buy the 19, and again, I'm gonna show you guys in a second why this matters. I'm gonna buy the 19 put. I'm not buying a 17 or an 18. I'm buying a 19 put because it is at the money, and tomorrow is Wednesday. So these, if I buy 3 days to expiration, these are gonna move super nice, you guys. Or I could buy next week. I'm buying a 19 at the money. I'm gonna draw a line here just so you can see why I'm doing this. I'm risking, look at a pushback up to this zone. I'm risking a 7 cents. So again, this might look big on the chart, you guys. 19.07. I'm risking 7 cents on the upside. And where is the start? So the start is this kind of this wick here into this zone here. And the start is my profit zone. Again, in a perfect world, hypothetical trade is 18.8. So I'm looking for a 20-cent down move on the stock price. So you hear about risk reward. I'm risking 7 cents. I'm looking for anywhere from 20 to 40 cents down. Okay. Now, how and why does this make sense? CCL, same thing. I'm back on Webull. Follow me here, guys. I'm buying here at 19. I'm buying the 19 put. Let's say market's open right now. Break, retest. I snipe an entry for 30 bucks. Again, $30 entry, guys. That's nothing. Let's look at our delta. If you guys don't know anything about option Greeks, my delta is $47. So every $1, write this down or take notes. This is a delta for everything. Every $1 the stock moves, I'm making $47. Okay. So I said, ideally, 19 to 1875. So that's 25% of a $1 move. You follow me? 25% percentage of a $1 move. I'm making 15, 16, 18 bucks on this contract down to this 18.20. So what was my buying, you guys? $30. And I'm making, hypothetical, just showing you because it paid. Let's just say I make 15 bucks. What percent is that, you guys? It's a 50% trade. 50% trade on something that cost me $30 on something that has 3 days for expiration. So you got a little bit of time, a little bit of wiggle room. That's a 50% trade, you guys, on something that is a no-brainer. You break back above 19, no-brainer. Okay, those are my two risky ones. My two favorite, I think, lift. Lift. What do we see here? Lift on. Let's see if it's more defined on the 15. Let me zoom out. All you chart pattern folks, all you chart patterns. I like to play charts. I like to play charts. What are we looking at here, guys? Anyone paying attention? Or you guys scrolling Instagram? Anyone still alive?
I see a cup and handle.
Oh, you see a cup and handle. Cup, handle, entry, promised land.
That's only because that's one of my favorite setups. Cup and handles and both flags.
Cup and handle, you guys. Okay. Not only is it cup and handle, why did I mark this line here? You guys know where I'm going with this. 1250. Make it thick so we can see why do I like this.
You ever see a cup and handle where the handle forms a bull flag?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. So this is, again, this is lift. This is not going to move a lot. So I'm just saying, guys, in a perfect world, for this handle to play out, 1250. Was that Mooney? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to I gotta really get through this. Again, zoom out, 1250. Why does 1250 matter, you guys? Look left on the chart, look left on the chart. Look at this. Push up on December 8th of last year. Never looked back. Come down, consolidate. Bulls are not winning, but guess what? Neither are the Bears. Consolidate. This was probably earnings. Guess what? Boom, explosion. So we have not been here in 7 months, you guys. Where do you think buyers are for Lyft? Possibly. Where do you think buy orders are waiting? Like literally, we are buying option contracts for the reaction of the share price movement. So do you think there's open orders at 12.50 for some share buys for people that, hey, maybe they want to flip shares, maybe they want to buy it and sell premium or whatever it is, or write it up, sell covered calls? Like, look at this. So another thing, you guys, bounce, 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 hold, reclaim, bounce. It's obvious. We sell down, it's either leg down or we bounce up. And this 9 daily, it's going to start curling, you guys. And that's where you're like, oh, I can never catch these long. Like, look, if you caught this breakdown here, you catch this long swing over, obviously it's hindsight over 2 months. This starts curling. You can buy, October contracts of Lyft for cheap. You can buy Lyft contracts for cheap. Lyft, LYFT. You can buy, again, you guys, I would buy 12.50 all day long, because guess what? They push up on 12.50 strike. You are instantly in the money. $30. You want to buy August contracts? $110. Okay. Again, don't blindly take this as just a trade idea. I'm going to keep going. I think I have 1 or 2 more. Delta Airlines. If you guys got to leave, no harm, no foul, no big deal. Again, Delta Airlines, let me start out zoomed in. A lot of weakness on Delta Airlines, cancellations, all that CrowdStrike stuff. What's Delta Airlines doing? Bounce, reject, bounce, reject, bounce, reject. What do you think I'm thinking tomorrow? Push up, reject. It's a possibility. Okay. 43, again, why does 43 matter? On the 30-minute, 43 is the recent low of July. So you got to think we haven't broke. Well, let's see. We broke it, but we reclaimed it, so we won't count that. So these are the July lows. You got to think, okay, where's the low? If you take puts here, why did that bounce? Zoom out. Okay. 43 zone. Why does it matter? Again, you guys know, I got to go out farther. Same thing. 1 line chart. Do you think 43 matters? Yes. 43 rejection. Push up, reject, push. Big move up. Okay. 43 matters. We sell below, we're probably going to keep legging down. 42, 41. We consolidate, we hold. I'm not thinking puts. Maybe it breaks, maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking calls if it breaks. But tomorrow, you guys, tomorrow, that is, I'm looking for on Delta Airlines DAL something to this effect of, again, I want to make my trade plan easy. I want to make it obvious. Okay. Bounce, buyback, bounce here. So previous support breaks under is now resistance. Okay. Previous resistance we break over is now support. So this was resistance. We push up. This is now support. So again, I'm looking at something to this effect tomorrow. We kind of open around here. We push, spice choppy. We're failing here. You can take puts here knowing that if we break into this zone here, again, not a big risk. But again, move my profit zone down. Profit zone price target 1 is what will be today's low. Okay. You sell 8 of your 10. Now you're riding for free. Go get that 43 zone, you guys. But again, we hold this, we start breaking. Don't just take puts because I said, but this is what I'm eyeing for it. Oxy, OXY can go either way. We're between 2 big levels, 60.65 and just basically call it 60 flat. Morning week pushes. I need to move my alert towards this zone here. I'm looking for breakouts or rejections, 60.65 on Oxy. Rejections, I'm looking bearish. Or we open around here, we fail our yesterday, or what would be today's close. I'm thinking bearish down this level. Again, these levels are not just based on short time frames. Look at that 60-65, why that matters. Push up, bounce, push up, bounce, bounce hard, sell down, have not reclaimed it. Okay. And last one, sorry, I know I'm going long. XLE, you guys, you hear me say it, a one-line chart. On XLE, if you only have one line marked, I think it should be 90.5. It's this thick line here. You can see we're on the 4-hour time frame. Push up, we never looked back. Push down, first time here since that time, big breakout. Okay, sell down through it, it sells hard on that line, on that level. Push up, attempted break, hard sell again. One line chart, you guys. Find price action. If you guys that are watching are not good with charting, go to larger time frames and say, hey, you know, you don't mark in these clusters here. You mark where there's big price movements and why. Okay, 90.5 is big to me for a reason on XLE. Sell down, hard sell, selling pressure. Push up, we never look back. Buyers all the way. Sell down, okay. Zooming into today. Shout out to Rena again for this trade plan. She's seen a break of this level. I don't know if she's in. I'm not going to speak for her. She's eyeing or was eyeing this bear flag breakdown. Okay. Chop, leg down. Chop, leg down. What do we look for tomorrow? Chop, push, rejection, leg down possibility. Or chop, push up. Again, get your bias out of there if you're in puts. If we reclaim 90.5 and Exxon is running and Chevron is running, all the XLE names, you better be thinking bullish because that is a huge level here. Okay. Oh, you're not in yet, Rena. All right. So shout out to you for finding that because man, there's too much to watch. I don't have very many things, but it just your stuff skips by me. Let me look. As me, North Scuba Handle, Big Bull Fray. Yep. Wise Investor, glad to have you here. Let's go. Not leaving. Calls on lift. Yes, calls if it works, you guys. Calls with time if it works. Thoughts on Baba? Baba, what's Baba doing? Oh, Baba gap. Ooh, Baba gap down. Baba, no good. Are you guys in something? Was it an alert? Hopefully it was an alert because I don't want to give too much perspective, but well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm a trader. I can get my perspective. Bounce the 20. So these dashed lines, you guys, are daily moving averages, but I have a script that shows them intraday. So many times stuff will bounce. I'm like, why the hell that bounced there? Well, on the daily, you guys, that green line, if we zoom in, that green line is the 20 daily moving average, 20 moving daily average. That's where it bounced. So intraday time frame, if you say why'd that bounce, to me that's an obvious bounce. An outlook on Baba, let me see. It just gaps, gap up, gap down, gap up. Like I hate this ticker, honestly. But let's, one thing that stands out. It's not gonna be a perfect trend line, but I'm eyeing, it might be more of a channel, a trending channel, but I know I'm not tagging this high here perfectly, but I wanna show that we didn't push up, hard rejection, didn't reclaim it today. So my immediate thought is I'm watching an upper trend line, I guess you could call it. And then on the daily, we're probably gonna form some form of a wedge or triangle. Let's grab this low here. What am I on? I'm on a 30-minute time frame if anybody wants to copy what I'm doing or kind of mimic. I didn't grab that wick perfect, but we got this low here. We tagged this, we tagged this, we tagged this after hours. So tomorrow, Baba is, well, you know what's going to happen. Tomorrow, Baba seems like deciding factor. Based on a trend, You got the 20 under you. You got the 9 overhead. You got a gap down if I start drawing some lines. And for me, like 76 is all that matters. Again, don't just trade blindly, but like I look at something like this on Baba. You guys push up hard, come down, gap below, push up, fail it, push up. You know, you get the point. So 76 and your overhead trend. If you're a bull, you need a breakout tomorrow. If you're a bear, you want hold pre-market under 76 and you want to break this trend line earlier than later. And you know, we got kind of a lot of action in here on Baba. So I'm not saying downside can't pay, but when I take downside trades, you guys, to me, I want something obvious. Like yeah, if you take 76 and you snipe a put, yeah, you're banking in here. But also you got this you got some junk here, you got some price action here, you got a little bit of this junk here, you got this here. I want to trade like, let's pretend we're trading here at this line, and I'll show you kind of my mindset. I want to take puts down here. When we break this structure, this whole area up here, this whole recent structure, to me, that is like bulls giving up for the month of July under 75.24. Like pretend we're trading here tomorrow, we break down. I take puts with confidence because look at all this that bulls are giving up on, all this up here. And look at this down here, at least recently. I mean, we'll scroll left, I could be wrong. Yeah, a little bit of zone there, but recent price action, we don't have much here. And so I take trades where when we clear a level on puts, it is clear sailing, no guessing. Or calls, we break out, say we took calls here up at 77. You know, you want to see, oh, we broke yesterday's high. We start looking left, clear sailing. And so you want to try and take or get in the habit of the trades that are obvious. So that is my thought on Baba. But man, if you're in calls, you want a 76 reclaim tomorrow and you want it fast, because that gap down today, if you were already in, like that's scary. Let me get to the chat before I wrap. I1K, what is it? A gap. So just a gap down or gap up, homie. So I mean, I can draw it for you. Let me move this. A gap. I mean, I don't say simply, because if you're learning, don't know, it's literally just that. So it is a gap in price. So yesterday we closed Baba at 76.63, and pre-market trading, they open at 76. So there's literally a 60-cent gap in price. That is what a gap is. A gap up the previous day. So from Friday to Monday, Baba gapped up from 75.43, gapped up. That's all it is. It's a gap in price. It's a gap in price action. But for me, I don't like these names when I see this. Because I'm not saying it's not smooth, but like, are we gonna gap up tomorrow again or gap down? Nobody knows, because it's like gap, 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 gap. It's like, I don't know if I've seen anything that just gaps every single day. Yes, we're trending down. So hypothetically, if you're a bear, you want a gap down into here, like leg down, breakout fell, leg down, you want a leg down here. So I just don't like seeing gaps every single day, because that's kind of hard to trade. So one last one. Okay, two more. Empanada, good to have you, brother. Are you still here? CROX, Crocs. If you're here, man, unmute your mic. What are you eyeing? And then I'll get to SoFi, then that's it, you guys, because we're 30 minutes over like usual. Empanada, open your mic. Empanada, where are you at?
Empanada got a new mic, so he sounds good.
Where's he at though? That's not Empanada. I know Empanada.
I have it here and sounds crisp right now, guys.
There you go, brother. What are you eyeing on Empanada? What are you eyeing on Empanada? What are you eyeing on Crocs, brother? Let me know.
I wanted to see
trade plan.
if we have maybe a bounce on that 130.03. You see the resistance that we have on the prior price action that it was our previous rejection and then it's becoming right now. I want to see if it becomes support and we respect that support. So I just wanted to see your view, your point of view. It's always,
Yep,
you know,
definitely,
four
brother.
eyes have a better view than two.
Yep, definitely. I think the exact same way. I'd probably trade or would trade this exact same way. Again, you guys look for push up, big moves, push down, big moves up. Like you get the point. So 130, yeah, I've never traded this, but I always joke one line chart. That is pretty obvious to me that maybe we don't get a breakout, but we see a bounce, you take some profit, you know, on some maybe short dated calls. And you're like, hey, again, this is the 9. So for me, just on the whim, building a trade plan, this is the 9. If you're a bull or if you're a bear, you want breakdown tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. If you're a bull, you're chilling. Maybe you're taking your entry, you're looking patient, but you're watching this 9 curl down, curl down, curl down. And what I like to see, you guys, is push, rejection. And so this would be Wednesday, Thursday, push, breakout, and what we always say, break and retest. So break and retest, we'll just call it 132. Break, I mean, that's obviously a big move. That's a $4 move, but break and retest of that 9 daily. Okay, so if you're like, man, why do we bounce there? It's the 9 daily moving average, hypothetically. So breakout and retest are what I love. And then you hypothetically, you start to see that curling, and that's where you catch those long swing moves. You know, your August contracts, your September, you know, you bottom snipe and say you get 131 calls and you bottom snipe it at 130, you're right and you're chilling. So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to see if we're gonna hold that level or we're gonna break it down. Like either way, it could be interesting because we can have a breakdown. If you go to the left and you see where the breakdown goes a lot lower, it could be a great entry for puts. You see where, yeah, look at it there, and you see how low we go. We have 118 from 130. Definitely. All the way down.
And even first price target. So like we break 130, and again, it's hypothetical. Like there's levels between 130 and 128, but you got to think like a trader, you got to think like big money. We break 130, where do you think they want to push price to? Zone. Here. 120, well, let's call it 128 for speed of the class. But again, look for key levels, you guys. Obviously, if we go to 15, there would be a lot in between there.
But in this type of names, I agree with you. I won't go. I like to be on the 30 and the 1 hour, and whatever noise happens on the smaller time frame, I don't care. I just look for the key points for, you know, big movements.
Yep. Because you can see, you guys, and you guys that trade on shorter time frames, or you know, I get it. You can take an entry on short time frames, but like, notice he said larger time frames because he knows. Okay, say he bottom snipes, he gets a 131 call or 130.5. He gets it right here. He sees 2% red, and we're off to the races. He, on the larger time frame, he's immediately looking left and going, oh, we got a level here on the, what am I? I'm on the 30. And immediately I'm just doing this on the fly. I'm looking left and I'm going, okay, where's our price action recent? This is the price action from this week. You don't buy 131 calls and go, hey guys, I want a 134 price target. No, you need to look first, you know, 131.85, 132, whatever, keep pushing. Then you take profit, you trail your stop, you set a stop loss of 131.85. Now, obviously, hypothetically, we push up. Then you start looking at these other levels here. But you don't just go, you know, you don't skip this line, just go, oh, I want 134 profit. No, you need to look at recent time frames. Okay, one last one, guys. We're running late. SoFi, I think it was mentioned a couple of times, so I don't want to skip this person. Who was that? Wise Investor, SoFi. Ooh, closing at the 9 daily. Let's look larger what we're doing here. $7.43. $7.43. Look at that, you guys. Again, not bragging. I'm just showing you how I was here. I drew one line on the larger time frame. Like, don't make charting hard, you guys. Look how much 7.43 matters. Use the larger time frame, you guys. Find your levels, find your entry, and build a plan. Wise investor, do you want to unmute or just want my thoughts, or let me know, brother, or sister?
No, I was wondering because I actually bank with SoFi and I use
Okay.
them. So I like that. I like the company and the stock. I've been holding their shares for a while. So I just wanted to see what you see, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the 1 hour. I'm seeing a couple things here.
I'm up
So
on that investment as well. I plan on holding that for like a long time, to be honest. So
oh, for sure, man. I think I still have shares because of MMA. I mean, it's a joke, but he didn't force me to buy them, but I'm still in them. I think ER is coming up too. But anyway, quickly, a trading plan, you guys, things to note. It closed at or above the daily 9 moving average. The daily 9 is important. 743 is important. Breakouts are failing, but breakdowns are also failing. Again, it looks big, but this is a 10-cent move down, and they bought it back up. Sell down, they bought it back up.
I feel
Sold
like
down,
this one for
closed
small.
over it. What's up, brother?
I feel like this stock here could be a good one for small ports as far as like options and shit.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Again, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I kind of glazed over it. But so stuff like this, you guys, when you see these moves, like it can put in 756 to 743. That's what, 13 cents moves. Like that's not a big move. So if you hypothetically you buy calls tomorrow, you're not buying the 9 strike. Like, has the 9 level way up here? Have we been there recently? No, there's no reason to get this strike call. You buy hopefully a 7.5.
I'm also curious, why do your EMAs or your SMAs, whichever you're using, how come they look like stairs? Like why is it doing that? Mine don't look like that.
Yeah, so this is a multi-time frame. So okay, let me go back. So on the daily, they're going to be smooth, and I'll show you. So
Yeah, there we go.
So this is the 9. When I say the 9 daily moving average, it's right here, this purple line. So on Webull, here's why I like Thinkorswim, you guys, and here's, maybe that's not a secret, but so if I go SoFi, okay, where's my daily? So this is the 15-minute time frame. Where's my 9 daily? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So I'm gonna go the daily chart. It's gonna get ugly because I chart this a lot. There's gonna be a bajillion lines, but I have to go the daily time frame on Webull and go, okay, my daily is at 934. Okay, that's an extra step. It's extra work. Okay, I can get there, but intraday, I don't want to think about that when I'm trading. That's just one extra thing to think about. So on Thinkorswim, if you guys have Thinkorswim, you can do, so see, 940 is where the daily's at. You go to studies. It's called a multi-time frame. Take a screenshot right down from Thinkorswim, a multi-time frame moving average. So it's not an EMA, so you type in MU multi-time frame moving average, okay? And you go into it, and it is based on the daily time frame, and it's the 9. So you can use, if you use the 5 daily moving average, put a 5 here. But I use the 9 and the 20 for my trading style. So intraday, you guys, it's not an EMA, it's a moving average, but it is forever moving and telling you where it's at. So that's why it stair steps here, because when it closes here on yesterday, and then it gaps, it looks like a gap or jump up, it is factoring in, okay, where is SPY opening at? And it's factoring, or excuse me, it's factoring where SoFi closed at, because your moving averages are based on the closes and your exponential moving average are intraday. And so it's calculating, okay, SoFi opened here and closed a little bit higher, which means my moving average is going to close a little bit higher. It's not much, but it's closing a little bit higher. And so this is a really cool, I guess, trick or something I figured out. I don't know if anyone's doing it, but intraday on SPY, I always know, look at this. I forgot about this. Actually, no, I didn't. I put this in the chat today. Somewhere around here, and I was wrong early, I'll admit. I said on the chats, on the trade floor, I said, hey, bulls, their goal is the daily 9,557 zone. Okay. And look at where rejected. Who is that? Is that Wise Investor asking, or whoever, someone? Look at where rejected, you guys. That was the 9 daily. It is no accident Like we're trading against computers. Look at that wick right there, if you can see it, where we rejected. It's not a coincidence, you guys. We rejected right there. But intraday, I'm able to see that every single day on every chart where it's at. And that has made me so much money. And the hourly 20, that thanks to River, shout out to River, is this yellow line. The hourly 20 moving average. If you guys are on Thinkorswim, you better have that on there. Multi daily, hourly, exponential. You guys better add that on there. You guys all chasing puts right here, getting smoked on those bounces. I mean, granted, you probably got some profit, but why is that bouncing? Why are those wicks there? Hourly 20, it's not an accident. Hourly 20, it's not an accident. Hourly 20 rejection, it's not an accident. You guys, build a trade plan. Don't make it difficult, you guys. I don't have much on my charts.
Seeing those consistencies there.
Yep. Okay, quickly back to SoFi, and then we gotta go. 743, you guys. Again, breakouts are not holding, but breakdowns are not either. So for me, I want to be patient with this. If you take calls, if you take the 750 calls, because you're maybe early, you want to see a curl, a hold. And again, if you don't catch this breakout and you're buying Friday expiration, you're gonna be a little pissed that you're screwed. Take some time on this, you guys, if you think this trade plan is gonna follow through. But anyways, look for your daily 9 to curl and catch up here. And you better be taking calls on a 9 daily moving average and a big S support right here. Okay. And then obviously you want to start charting here. Like, okay, I'm in calls. I'm doing good. I'm up 30% or whatever. You better already have a trade plan. You better have this channel charted out. Again, it's not a big move, 7.43 to 7.59, but you might be able to catch a little bit of price action. But the strike price matters, you guys. Do not buy the 8. Do not buy the 8.5 call. Strike price matters.
Cool.
Anybody?
Well, hell yeah, bro. I appreciate you in this lecture. I'm gonna try starting to trade some of these tickers here that you would let us know about.
Man. You guys,
If
DMs are always open, you guys.
Thank you very much for the advice. Appreciate it a lot.
Appreciate you, iPad. Appreciate you all. You guys, 23, you stuck around. I know we're 36 minutes over, but I like to help people. It's rewarding.
Hey, I live for this. So I love learning about this stuff. So I don't even care how long it takes.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Let's
Me
have a great
too,
week,
me
you
too.
guys. It's
Just
midweek.
got into stocks and I love this group. Everything's awesome. I'm excited to learn a little more.
For sure, man. Let's have a good day, you guys. Let's end the week strong. Let's end the month strong. We got 6 days left in the month. Mark some levels, 556.9, 556.67, 554. Like, I got 5 lines because right now all I care about is these 5 lines. This is my zone. This is my trade plan right now going into the week on SPY. I don't trade every day, but I always watch it. So Scrubs, is there a way to watch from the beginning? You are in luck. It'll be uploaded tomorrow or Thursday at the latest. Take a peek here at the chart or the screen. Go to, where's that? Go to the recorded lectures and it'll be under latest classes. Okay. Latest classes. It'll say, Start with 1K lecture. Look at this Empanadas Sunday scan, recorded lectures, you guys. It'll be here in 24 to 48 hours. And yeah, they're recorded. So you can go back and say, oh man, he went way too quick over this. And you guys can chart alongside when I go over stuff on recorded lectures. Or Empanada, when he did that Sunday night market scan, you guys can chart along with them. Obviously, things are different 2 days later, but yeah. All right, guys, I appreciate you all, but we got to go. We got to end it. Have a great week. Let's finish strong, you guys. DMs are always open. Ask questions. All the support staff, they're here to help you guys. Later.